Hello people, my name's Adam, this is my first ever YouTube video and this is all about how Amazon FBA has changed my life. Now, I started Amazon FBA at the back end of 2019 and since then I've managed to do over £1.8 million in sales. I've built my whole business up to the point where I've got 3 employees, my own warehouse, I actually hire my mum and actually helping her out, providing for her, and I'm living a life of ultimate freedom out here in Thailand. But it's not always been that way. I wasn't always into entrepreneurship. Here's how it kind of started. Now, I started college when I was about 16, finished at 18, and I didn't really know what to do with myself. I was still working at Sainsbury's. I was working just a regular job, like probably a lot of you guys watching are. I was working a regular job, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But then I turned 18, and I fell into that traditional trap of, partying, going out drinking, doing other shit as well, which, it isn't good. We won't discuss on the camera. Some real bad stuff. And yeah, it wasn't good for me, not healthy for me, and ultimately not productive and not ever going to get you anywhere in life. Now, I'd probably say 95% of people, especially in Britain, are like this. They fall into that trap, going out every weekend, getting drunk, doing stupid stuff. That was exactly me about 3, maybe 4 years ago, coming on to 4 years ago now. It was absolutely terrible stuff, self-destructive stuff, and it shows that you don't really respect yourself. Now, it's been a journey the whole time. When COVID came about, that's when I started my business. No one was going out, of course, because we were on lockdowns, and that was kind of good, kind of therapeutic for me because there was no temptation there to go out on a night out or anything. And that's when I kind of started my business. But it all stemmed from a night out as well before COVID. I actually injured my knee. I was supposed to go in the Royal Navy, and I injured my knee stupidly on a night out. It's a funny story to look back on, but I thought I ruined my life at that point in time. I was just really, really drunk. Started to run home and I fell over and smacked my knee on some concrete and I got bone edema, if you've ever heard of that. But it was crazy stuff. I couldn't walk for 6 or 7 weeks and my starting date was 2 weeks later after the injury had occurred. So there was no chance of me joining, training in the military, running every single day and stuff. That was never going to happen. I couldn't walk for 6 or 7 weeks. It was ridiculous. That led to a pretty dark period in my life. It wasn't a good period of my life, but we moved with it, we got over it, and we carried on, we soldiered on. And that is actually the time where I sort of invested in Amazon FBA and basically started my business from there, really. So it was somewhat a blessing in disguise. But when I started my business at the back end of 2019, I just grinded. I grinded 12 to 14-hour days, sometimes even 16-hour days. And I was working at Barclays. I'd left Sainsbury's and I'd started working for Barclays at the time. And yeah, it was good because it was COVID as well. I'm sure some of you may be able to relate on this, but everyone was working from home. Everyone was working from home, and you could kind of, it depends what sort of company you work for, I guess, but they didn't really micromanage you too much, and I could just slack off quite a bit. So that's what I did. I slacked off, and I didn't do a great deal, to be honest, and I just focused on my Amazon FBA business. That led to me making phone calls to suppliers, sending emails to suppliers, literally all day, every day. They would call me back. I'd have conversations with them. I'd be getting accounts open with them. From there, they'd send price lists to me. And the method I do for Amazon FBA is Amazon FBA wholesale. Now, this is where we are basically reselling other people's branded products on Amazon. And yeah, I was getting prices from them after I had opened accounts, seeing if they're profitable on Amazon. Now, a lot of them weren't. That's how Amazon FBA is. Not everything's profitable at all. It's probably, say, 90 to 95% of the things you find. They won't be profitable, and it'll feel like you're wasting your time. And it felt like that at times. It really did. But I began getting results relatively quickly. And in my first couple of months, I don't actually have screenshots of it, unfortunately. I've got screenshots of my recent results. But I think I managed to amass over like £10,000 worth of sales in the first couple of months. And it soon led to me hitting 6 figures after about 6 months. It was damn crazy. And that's when I quit my job. I quit my job 6 months after starting Amazon FBA. It only took me about 5 or 6 months. And now, don't get me wrong, my expenses were low. I wasn't getting paid too much. I didn't have to supplement too much of an income. Like some of my mentees, they're on like £4,000 or £5,000 every single month. And mentoring them, helping them make money with Amazon is great, but for them to realistically leave their job, they need to be getting their Amazon business to like £10,000 a month profit mark. That's the people that I'm dealing with, trying to help. Whereas me, I was on about £1,000 a month. I began making about £2,000, £2,500, £3,000 a month in profits from Amazon FBA after about 5 or 6 months. And yeah, it was enough for me to leave my job, and I was doing it full time. And then I ended up upgrading. More and more money kept coming in, more and more sales, more and more profits, more and more products, all of the above. And that basically led to me just growing and growing and growing, living a more and more better life. Upgrading, I went to initially an office, and then I had a storage unit and an office, and I had 2 storage units and an office. Now fast forward to today, 3 employees in a warehouse. It's absolutely awesome, the potential of Amazon FBA. Now, also, more potential of Amazon FBA, which is done for me. I live in Thailand at the moment. It's a beautiful place here, man. So damn cool. The freedom here, the people are so lovely. You know everybody in the UK. If you're from the UK and you're watching this, maybe the US or Australia, I'm not sure what they're like in Australia, but I'm pretty sure the Great Britain and the United States are pretty much the exact same. Everyone's kind of miserable. Everyone's under the weather. Something's always bothering them. Everyone has money problems. Speaking to the people here, it's ridiculous. They're on like £200 a month, probably probably what it equates to, £100 to £200 a month. They said 200 baht they'll earn in a day, which is 200 baht in a day is around £7 or £8 per day. And you work that out on a monthly basis, what's that, like £200, £300, £400 a month? It's ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, the cost of living here is kind of a lot less, but it doesn't directly correlate. It doesn't directly correlate at all. Like, we can live a really good life here on £2,000. We've got a lovely villa here with a pool behind me, a nice sea view. This is like £2,000 per month. It's ridiculous. But for them, it really does humble you. We spoke to quite a few of them earning £200, £300, £400 per month. And how they live their life, it really does humble you. And I've got to experience all this through Amazon FBA. I've got the freedom here to come out and go and speak to them on if we go for a meal out and stuff. And it really just kind of put in perspective how lucky we are, especially everyone in the UK. Even if you just work a regular job, and how your upbringing was. Your upbringing was awesome, absolutely awesome compared to everybody. Me personally, I had a very, very good upbringing. My family weren't tiptoe rich. They had to work, they had to grind. But they made sure that I did have food on the plate. They made sure I could do extracurricular activities. Made sure I could go to them football classes, that I learned how to play guitar, all sorts of things. They made sure that I could do as many activities as possible. Some were forced into on me, and some were not forced into. That's some I wanted to do. But ultimately, we went on holiday every year. But I'm probably quite lucky compared to some people in the UK. But even so, the people that I'm not as that aren't so lucky to have all this, you still have an awesome upbringing. You have so much opportunity, especially with the school and university. You get proper good education. I won't dive deep into the education system right now because it's kind of fucked, but you do learn like a lot of things through school, which kind of just set you up for life, really. But not only that, like, you have numerous benefits here over in the UK. It's crazy, and the amount of opportunity you have, you can just start getting a job relatively easily, relatively quickly. And yeah, you can begin to save up that money to perhaps invest into a business, like exactly what I did. Invest into some training or something. Learn about a high income skill. It's exactly what I did. But yeah, Amazon FBA has been amazing for me. I'm doing a six-figure months at the moment. £100,000 in a month in sales. Sales, not profit, don't get me wrong. So about 17 and 18% of that £100,000 is profit. And I do have a few other costs on top of that, but overall I'm netting at least £10,000 a month. £10,000 a month from doing Amazon FBA. Now what difference would that make to you? It's made a huge difference in my life. God damn. It's awesome. Now, I love this place. It's awesome. I love to train. I used to work, and the only thing I used to think about after work was going to boxing. Now I go to boxing in the morning. I'm starting to train twice a day now. It's an awesome place. Amazon FBA has given me this opportunity, thankfully. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And I'm actually helping a few students at the moment to do the exact same thing. But yeah, just feel very truly blessed. I thought I'd make this first YouTube video. So I'm seeing quite a lot of people making YouTube videos, and I may as well hop on the bandwagon. I post on TikTok and Instagram already. And yeah, posting this long form content will just help me build a bit of a better relationship with some of my consistent watchers on long form content. And yeah, I hope to see a lot of you guys around. I'll be making more videos. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.